think. Okie dokie. Hope everything's working right. No, I started this a bit late. Oh, I should stop the starting soon. There. It's times like these, maybe I should go over to Twitch.
Hmm?
No one's on the stream. No one's on, which is fine. It's just kind of like.
It's disappointing.
It is a little bit, but like, it's what it is. I don't want to force anyone to be on here. Just that wouldn't be fun. I understand people have lives outside of. I know. Yesterday it was just like bam, people. Yesterday was Wednesday. Today is Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. And I'm starting almost 2 hours later. I mean, to be fair, the internet itself seems to be a little slow on content tonight. Mm. Just ready for D&D tomorrow. Is Taylor ready for D&D tomorrow?
Yes. Excited.
Yeah. think I've told the same person 3 times now that I'm not accepting requests or commissions.
You probably don't understand what that means.
Yeah. Hello. Ah. Of course, I've been mumbling and talking. Haven't really been coughing. As soon as there's someone to listen outside of Rachel, I start coughing. How are you? How are you? I don't think I'm nervous. I think it's just... I don't know. I'm tired. That's for sure.
Who is it?
It is true.
Who over the age of like 15?
Not me tomorrow? Hopefully. I have tomorrow off. By off, I'm working for myself. Ooh, that's a good... that's also a good one to choose. Working on the next Mermaid Tale. A couple of jobs got canceled, so there's not much work, so I was just like, hey, I know I can do stuff around the shop, but you're gonna have 3 other guys just doing stuff around the shop. I have plenty of stuff to do at home. And so John thought about it for a bit, and then he was just like, yeah, just work from home tomorrow. Next week's gonna be interesting. The job over in Billings got canceled, so that leaves like, and it was supposed to be like 2 weeks long, so that leaves like 2 weeks of work we've got to find. And Mom and John are a bit frustrated because they denied jobs, being like, oh no, we've got a big one in Billings, can we do it after? So now it's just kind of like, but it is what it is. Oh, that is good, that's good. I'm gonna retweet this again. Anyway, how are you guys? many to choose from. So I'm wanting to add a Pokemon. And like right here. And I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. Awesome! Congrats! Wishy-washy? Probably not Spheal because it's Arctic. But it is Spheal. Did you see that post on Facebook that your Katie made? Because she doesn't know 3rd gen Pokemon, but she's playing Pokemon Go. And she's like, I saw the ball seal. I don't know what it is, but I want it. And I'm just like, no, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing. I like it when people are excited about Pokemon they don't know. Because it gets them out of the whole, only the first 150 are the good ones.
Just that she's so only, but then...
Yeah.
I understand.
I appreciate you foregoing your sarcastic suggestions. Okay, so I could do Tortuga? Do they have a... Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong if your favorite are mostly the first 150, but making the statement if it's the best only, then it's just kind of like, yeah, you really aren't into Pokemon. Do Chinchou, that's a good one. Or Barboach. What the heck? This is like the second time someone's come to the door. I'll be right back. Tonight.
What's up? Ah! Jeez!
I needed a bigger case. So.
It's bigger.
I got a computer case. Because mine is tiny and it barely fits everything in it. Make sure that's kind of big. Yeah. That just came. Holy cow. Well, shoot, Amazon said it got delayed, so I was like, I guess I'll stream and not worry about putting that in. And I guess, well, it was delayed at like 8 o'clock, but still. I'm gonna get some water. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, it's picking up. Andrew, do you have a vote? Ooh, Jellison. That's a good one. Blah, 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 blah. All right. When did I see that one in the list? Oh yeah, it was right there. Or Frillish. Yeah, there's that. I don't think I can help with that one. Also, it'd be weird to have a... Oh, that's tempting. Oh, come on, show me the wash rotoms. Why it's got wash rotom there? It doesn't want to show me the sprite. I'll save that for later. I could set it up a little better, I think. But that is... Oh, that is funny. It would be electric water, not ghost water. Okay, I'm gonna get a... Ooh, that's a possible one. Alla Mamola. It's pink. And maybe not, because it's gonna be right over Pomegranate. That's a lot of pink. Wait, Palkia is water? Weird. I didn't realize that. Or I could do Dratini. I know that's not water type, but that's still cool.
It looks.
Well, it lives in the water.
Yeah.
But I have a list of water type Pokemon. Or Tapu Fini. It could be cool. The Manta Ray one. I was thinking Mantine, because that's smaller, because Mantine's quite a bit bigger. But yeah, Mantike would be cute. So many good choices. Yeah, I could go classic and just do a Squirtle. I'm gonna tweet. Maybe I can get some more people to come. Opinions. I was thinking Chinchou. Lantern's a bit big. There's so many. I like Pokemon. So many good choices. That might not be a good choice. I could do a Wooper as well. Woopers or Quagsire would fit in there. It's not too much bigger. Quellfish. Or Corsola. Corsola would be cool. It'd be weird, but it would be cool. Oh. Choices. Probably not Wooper, because I think it's more fresh water than ocean. Sharpedo! No, that's too big. Whale Lord's still too big. Way too big. I know some people would lose their mind with my Milotic. I was thinking, oh, Relicanth. I don't know if I said that one right. Relicanth? I don't know. It would obscure the whole picture. No one would know. Just Wimpod. Finian would be cool as well. It's super cute. Yeah, I think my computer case caused an accident in this street.
What?
Yeah, I think a person rear-ended the UPS truck.
Oh. Oh.
But that's not my problem. I kind of feel bad, but you know, people should slow down because our street is solid ice. Okay, I'll leave out Barboach. Okay, so yeah, we've got Tirtoga, Mantike, Chinchou, Spheal. We'll leave Spheal out because that's more Arctic. Finion, Felt like there was more in there. Oh yeah. Relicanth. How big is Octillery? It's only 2 feet. It's... Maybe. Nah. Seal. Ah, not a seal. Horsey's too small. Seadra's spiky. Gyarados. No, not Gyarados. Dratini's a good choice. Dratini is a good choice. Oh, so many good choices. Alright, so Dratini. Alright, so I got. Alright, I'm not gonna add any more. So I'll do. No. I'll take Relicanth off. Finneon. We'll take Chinchou off. Entite, Tortuga, Dratini. How big is Mantike? Lugia is gigantic. That is why. That's why Gyarados isn't in there. It's 3 feet. Yeah, Mantike's actually pretty dang big. No. I'll have to come up with a what's the word I'm looking for? Framing. Yeah, this was designed. This picture was designed for Tortuga. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna do this in order. I've got my D4 right here. So 1 is Finneon, 2 is Mantike, 3 is Tortuga, and 4 is Dratini. This is gonna be loud as heck unless I take this notepad and put it down, and it's still new dice. It causes me to vibrate. That is a 4. So I think you can see that 4. Let's see if people can see that. I've got that minimized. 4. Oh, down. Yeah, 4. So Dratini it is. Not quite water, but still pretty cool. I'll put this back. I'm gonna go get a cough drop because my cough is coming back. I'll be right back again. Nope. Andrea says hi. She can see you. I could not find. There we go. I could not find my cough drops. So. I hope that didn't pick up. I forgot to mute myself. I apologize. Alright. Why can I not dual wield pistols in 5e? Actually, meaning to remember that. Excuse me. I'm curious. I'm not trying to be. Frick. Yeah, but no, I'll be right back. Sorry, but I know it does talk about light crossbows and being able to use those in the offhand at some point. That actually might be a feat that allows you to use a ranged weapon in the offhand. Anyway, since you guys are the only ones in this stream, I don't mind going off drawing. All right, let me see that now that. Okay, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'd need to. Yeah, a light crossbow or hand crossbow. Yeah. So when you, yeah, because the crossbow experts, when you use an attack action, they attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with the hand crossbow you are holding. Okay. No, that makes sense. So basically, if I wanted to do that, I would need to basically take not so much a crossbow expert, but like a handgun expert feat. Sort of thing. Alright. Thank you. That actually stirred where I got that. I'm not sure that's where I would want to go. Gosh darn it. What's that? Look, flipped. And the eyes are a little cockeyed. Better. All right. I should get a picture of Dratini. Always good to have references. Yeah. Just, yeah. I wasn't sure if with the whole offhand thing, if it applied to because you can dual wield without. Yeah, no problem. I'm just kind of talking, because I was thinking you can dual wield hand weapons without defeat. Melee weapons. It's just you don't get a bunch of the bonuses when you do it that the feat would grant you. But I can understand it being different for ranged. And that's where my question came in. So I'm glad we have that figured out and we did not stop a very important part of the game to discuss rules on that. But the question is, would you allow time to do that but at disadvantage on the offhand one? Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that makes me think is, you know what would be worse than Oleg being able to get in one turn potentially have 6 attacks, or 5 with his action surge, is Oleg being able to have, well, see, no, he wouldn't, because attacking with the offhand weapon is your bonus action. So if he was ferociously raging, that third attack is just a bonus action. So never mind, that wouldn't really help him. Yeah, I mean, so do druids and rogues, all in their respective areas of expertise. I mean, wizards get gross, bards get gross. Trying to think of what class doesn't get gross. Warlocks? Sorcerers? Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't looked too much into Ranger. Depending on which subclass of fighter, Eldritch Knight is not one that's a force to be reckoned with at level 20. But, Champion, though, that could be a little disgusting. Because I think at like level 14 and 17, they can basically take the features of the other two fighter subclasses along with their own, which is like crits or 19s and 20s, and being able to rally themselves and a few other things. And I mean, Battle Master is pretty good. That's what most fighters go with because it gives you a lot of options. I think. My goodness. Battle Master? Or really? I thought you could get fighter. Cleric. Didn't I have this page saved? Fighter. Champion. Oh yeah, superior critical, 18 to 20. Oh, I guess you're right, it is an additional fighting style. '18th level, you basically don't die the first time you go to 0. Yeah, archery's kind of gross. Because when you take the 2-up at fighting style, it doesn't is. Oh, okay. So on your second weapon, you don't get to add your ability modifier either, unless you have 2-weapon fighting. If you have 2-weapon fighting, you add your strength or dexterity, I guess, to it. But yeah, no, it's what, 10th level. I get Eldritch Strike, so whenever I hit a creature with a weapon attack, they have disadvantage on saving throws on my next spell. Until the end of my next turn, so which then I can do a cantrip and be able to make a weapon attack as a bonus action. At 15, I can teleport. And 18, I can cast a spell and then make one weapon attack as a bonus action. So a full spell, not just a... But... level 13... Whoop! I just lost something. I'll be able to cast Fireball, so... have fun with that. Unless I start taking levels in Wizard. Which would actually really turn gross, because then I can start regenerating spells on short rests. How many levels of Wizard? I think that would just be the second level I would need to get that. Or is that first level? Oh boy. Fighter. Volok. Wizard. No, that's first level, so I just need to take the first one. If you're 4th level wizard, you can earn 2 spell levels worth of spell slots. Second level. I mean, it would only be a first. No, it just says the spell slots can have a combined have a combined level that is equal or less to half your wizard level. So it doesn't matter if it's wizard spell slots, which I mean it would be because Arcane or Eldritch Knight it's wizard spell slots. But the thing is, I'd be limited by my wizard level. So level 1, level 1 and 2, I'd only be able to recover 1 first level spell. Level 3, I would get a 1 or a 2. Level 5, round it up. So, potential path. But that would give me a lot more spell slots. Oh shoot, that's what I wanted to look up. I'm not going to tell you what I'm looking up. I just remembered I need to see what, if I, one, can learn that spell, which I think I can. I just need to see what level it is. Oh, wrong. Okay. It's probably 3rd or higher. Yeah, it's 3rd level. Because if I can cast that, I would choose that one over Fireball. Oh, that would just be, that would be very... If I could find it. There we go. Nope. Next page. Probably. There it is. Oh, but it's transmutation. Well, I think by that point I can take another non-evocation and abjuration spell slot, so definitely this one. Up to 1 minute. Okay. I mean, there's a major drawback to the end of that one, but combat rarely lasts more than 10 rounds. What? Someone that is not Adam is playing RimWorld? Okay. Yeah. Oh, Adam's playing RimWorld. Okay, I thought you're saying that's gonna change for the combat lasting more than 10 rounds. Not the RimWorld thing. I mean, that's... Yeah, I never know. The question is, can you guess what spell I'm thinking of? Okay, I'll be right back while you think of that. I gotta go to the bathroom. Man, you're good. What gave it away? Also, why the giant fruit, Andrea? It's not a cucumber. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Papaya? No. Kumquat? No. Eggplant, that's the one. Yeah. Unless you happen to drop some boots that don't have that penalty at the end. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Problem is time would have to fight. Yeah, time would probably have to fight. No, but I mean, it's not that hard to port them over. Actually, they do. They're in Xanathars now. They're called Boots of Speed, though. I'm pretty... Xanathar's over. I don't need to leave one more time. Yeah, they're actually on my list of magical things you can get. For my thing. We should need to figure out when we're going to do that, because it is mostly planned. Ooh, it's a swiftness. Something like that. Oh, they are? Okay, then they're not on my list. I thought I'll be right back. Oh, it's right here. I'm an idiot. Boy. Okay. Eyeball. Well, maybe it wasn't in Xanathars. I thought It's a false tracks. Oh, I guess I was mistaken. Where did I see that? Well, yeah. Dungeons Master Guide, then. You know, I could ban you. That is within my power, Adam. I'm not going to because you're a regular and a friend.
Like how that was second, right?
Is this the actual? No. I'm not going to tell Rachel. Because I love her. You don't want to know. Has to do with washi tape.
What about it?
If I were to get, excuse me, washi tape, would it be wishy washi tape? Oh no, if I were to ask a genie, would it be wishy-washy
I
tape?
was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, I was thinking wishy-washy the Pokemon. That's where I was drawing the line. My goodness. Myself. I'm just really distractible tonight. Okay, let's back to it. Back to it, back to it, back to it. Okay. Okay. Oop. Yeah, no. No. freaking that deck of many things with grog. Oh. I know I scared Debbie at work because I started laughing at that point. I have no idea. Do they actually start drawing from it? Oh. Because I know his conversation with Pike. Oh dear. Does he just draw all of them? That's... I mean, that's fitting. Oh, I didn't get to that point. Uh. Oh, it's the one before the final one. Oh, jeez. I gotta catch up on the new Adventure Zone that came out today. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, no, as I just finished the episode with Pike's family showing up. Yeah, just with them showing up to Whitestone. No, I had to stop listening because I had to do stuff with people. Test some breakers. No, test one breaker, but when you have to defeat the GFCI and when John comes in and messes up your order of operations, it takes longer than expected. Although I programmed my first drive today, so that was fun. Yeah. Ugh. Do, 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 do. You just broke what? You just died over your wishy-washy tape joke. Oh, oh. I don't think anyone can be prepared for that. I was not prepared for that either. My goodness. I don't know. Oh no. think Mermaid Courtney might have just flashed one of her spare hard drives on accident, and that's no good. So it's external, and it seems she accidentally pulled the power plug on it while it was in use. Yeah, no, it's not responding or being recognized, and it's just like, So, you know, now that I have a bigger case that actually has things to hold my hard drives properly, we could be able to buy some more hard drives, because I need them. Hey! Pixelated Crow. Welcome. You kind of get a view of the whole picture here. I'm doing alright. I'm a little coffee, but call me an espresso. How's that? I'm a little coffee. Thank you. I apologize for the joke. That was a good joke. I'm not gonna lie there. Don't you agree? Huh?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, that shows how good it is. See? I've never heard it before either. I literally just made it up, but doesn't mean other people can't come up with the idea. I just voiced it first. Doing a little bit different shading today, or not shading, line art. Kind of going what I was doing last night when I fixed Rachel's picture. Actually, we don't need to even do that. There's a reason I put quotations up when I said it. I hope those came through. What do you mean? With only just 4? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Actually, Rachel sort of likes it. What?
Sort of like.
The picture I did last night? Yeah, see? And I'm not the first one that made that joke. Taylor actually beat me to it, and I couldn't say anything because I still wanted it to be a surprise. Problem is, I can't make that joke again. I've used it. It's been spent. But when you said 4 people, I didn't count that there would be more than 4. With only Tim gone, I was like, oh yes, only 4 with Tim gone. So I was confused. It's gonna be weird. No Tim. What's good drawing practice? Pixelated Crow. I'm just like, is that not what everyone else does? Oh, it is a good creative exercise, but I'm just like, I do that all the time. But it is good. It is good drawing practice, especially for... No, what would be good, really good drawing practice is the same thing, but don't draw a merm. Draw a freaking centaur. Get that horse. That horse practice in. Yeah. Still. No, it's good for drawing practice. Maybe not so good as... Good luck. You are a braver soul than I, drawing centaurs. Here's awesome though. I went to Joann's because I had to get more materials for the next tale I'm working on, because that's what I'm work on tomorrow. But for once, they didn't ask me what I was doing, what my materials were for, and it's because... Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta show it. I'm super excited about this. I'm gonna get more water. Alright, back. I think I might have some spare cough drops in the closet, so bear with me. Yes, I do. These are the bad kind, man. Make my teeth sore. Oh, come on. Let me hold on to the wrapper like crazy. Wrapper's still on there. Or not. Oh no, it was just a giant cat hair. Oh.
Gross.
How did that so quickly? Alright. Where was it? Ah, yes, I need to bring up my thing to see what I'm doing. I got a little A-Wing. Resistance Fighter A-Wing. It's pretty cool. It's right there at the checkout, and I saw the X-Wing and was just like, that's cool. X-Wings are cool, but they're not as cool as A-Wings. I look over and there's the frickin' A-Wing. That's something, Adam. I do want to ask you now. What did you think of the new B-Wings? You actually got to see the inside of them. Cancel. Yeah, they are B-Wings. And most stuff calls them the Resistance Heavy Bombers, but they are the BST wings. So they're the next step of B-Wing, or at least the Heavy Bomber version. Okay. I like them. I understand. They don't do the side thing. Yeah, they're the B-Wing shape. Because you got the... I can actually draw it. It's the B-Wing, you got there. And over here, you've got the engine. And over here, you've got your first gun, and then you got the drop-down gun. For your classic, I think that's like the B-34. I'm not sure where it drops its bombs from, but then the BST. Yeah, no, they're super slow. I mean, the B-Wings is supposed to be pretty slow. Man, I mean, these are also bigger. They're not just a single-person fighter. They are, see? Yes. No, these are definitely bombers. As the B-Wing would be considered a light bomber. No, and you don't get the gun, you actually get a cockpit, which is cool. And very much reminiscent of a World War II bomber. You kind of got that. And then you got the sides. Yeah, kind of like that. Boop, boop, boop. But I mean, that that beats of what they tried to pass off as somewhat of a B-Wing in The Force Awakens. That is true. Which was... It was the transport ship, and in the lore, it's supposed to be, well, they just took a bunch of B-Wings and modified it to be a transport. Kind of look like that. Engine on the side. But yeah, literally, you can kind of, if you squint, you can kind of see it, but definitely not argue that's not a B-Wing. This, like, I would say is maybe a uppercase B-Wing. Bold font. Bold font. That's a good one. Sans serif. I don't know. I was just... Still. Italics B-Wing. Yeah, no, the A-Wings are different. Not much. I mean, you still have the very, very similar profile. The back fins are larger, tighter, tighter nose, a little bit more wings jutting out, and heavier guns on the side. Sportier. Although there has been in the new series a definite lack of Y-wings. Which, I mean, the Y-wing's definitely not my favorite, but ha 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 ha. I wonder if they're saving it for the third movie, because I know a lot of people like Y-wings. It's a good ship. Also, another light bomber. I'm really tempted to get the Lego set of the Y-wing, but I've already... Do I already have a... I'll be right back. I don't think I have the Y-wing. I do not have the Y-wing. I thought I did. Oh, I think I had it when I was a child. But the main reason I haven't gotten it, it's like $90. Where I could get the Resistance Heavy Bomber for just as much, and that is a much bigger set with a lot more pieces and more figures and all that. It was really nice in The Last Jedi to see different space battles than what we've seen in Star Wars. As one of my favorite parts. I mean, that first scene is a pretty dang good scene. Either way, but you actually had to go through with a bomb run. I mean, it just wasn't attacking a Death Star. Well, I mean, it's kind of like the one big one, is because you had the initial one, which was like the big fight, and then really you just had the Holdo maneuver scene, which is a very different kind of space battle, but that was kind of the end of the whole. Wow. I really love The Last Jedi. Yeah. Adamir hates The Force Awakens. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd say The Force Awakens has definitely dropped down for me after The Last Jedi. I still like it, but... yeah, I've actually seen that a lot too, is... a lot of people that really didn't care for the originals really like the new ones. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what's my least favorite Star Wars movie? Attack of the Clones. As much as I like Obi-Wan, which is actually, have either of you played the Old Republic 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith Lords? I was actually reading an article the other day, and I really like that game, and The Last Jedi actually has a lot of similar points that that game made about the Force and whatnot. Like, I don't blame you guys for not playing it, because it was Obsidian game developed after the sequel was done by Obsidian, who's notorious for just making games that are sequels to for successful franchises from different studios. Yes, Luke. Just absolutely my favorite movie with Luke is Mark Hamill's, by far his best performance he's ever done with anything. Grumpy but as salty as old Luke, because holy cow. Because that end with Kylo Ren, it was just like so I mean, he was the salt master on the salt planet. Yeah, I know. No, the Canto Bite part was... What was the golden opportunity? that yeah, no. That is a missed golden opportunity. I agree. But I do love the line. It's just, young Skywalker always looking at the horizon. Just, I'm hoping we get Force Ghost Luke, but he doesn't go to Rey at all, because he's just like, she's got it figured out, and he's just there, just torturing Kylo Ren. I feel Canto Bite could have been a little better, but I still think it's important. Because without the whole Canto Bite thing, you wouldn't have gotten that that last shot that I think is incredibly important for the whole point of the movie, for the theme of the movie, and Star Wars as a whole. Yeah, and they probably could. They could have cut out the whole chase scene. But I can understand an executive coming in as, we need something exciting. Like, I think the chase scene would have been a lot more interesting and cooler on foot than on CGI animals. Cut down half the length. It was a long movie. Yeah. But the what was I gonna say? But that whole part of Canto Bite is yeah, it's 2.5 hours long. Is really important for Finn. But that's the point. That was the whole point, is the mission came to nothing. Especially for Poe's character arc. And that defies kind of the whole Star Wars thing, is people's rash plans always succeed. And this is really the first time... Sorry, I'm going to put this with the 20 up, not with the 2 up. Is it actually showed that these things can fail. And when they do, there's huge consequences. I also feel that Benicio del Toro, the hacker, could have been handled, but it should have been Lando, really. And it probably was at earlier points. But the important part of that character was to show Finn that playing both sides is kind of... When you play both sides, you're really only aligning yourself with one side in the end. Well, because they were talking about it on the comm, on the ship right there. Because Poe was just blabbing about it the whole time over the communication. Yeah, Poe's a blabber. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, like, the first time I didn't catch it, but it was definitely there the second time I watched it. Because, yeah, he, like, on the ship there, while they're infiltrating when they're talking over, he's yelling about it. And the hacker dude was just sitting there being like, huh. So, I do hope that he comes back in the next movie and actually gets to learn a lesson. I mean, if he doesn't, then whatever. I don't need to see him ever again. But yeah. But no, I felt that character could have been handled, probably introduced sooner in the casino would have been better. Kind of make him more friendly to make that betrayal seem a little more hard-hitting. So yeah, no, definitely the Canto Bite could use some definite improvement But I know there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, strike the whole thing. When there's a lot of good stuff, it just wasn't executed as good as it could have been. But I mean, the same could be said with Cloud City. Or the entire prequel trilogy. Yeah, it just... What bugs me is... And it, like, really one thing is... Well, that's kind of what I say. Cloud City is important. You can't get rid of it. But they did a better job about introducing it sooner, and they actually stayed there longer, but it was used better. I would definitely agree to that than Canto Bight was. But, sorry, back with the hacker dude, is one thing that would have made his character a lot better is remove the frickin' stutter. Because it's, oh, shifty, possibly, or shifty, vocally disabled dude turns out to be the bad guy. Who could have seen that coming? And the stutter didn't really inform anything on his character other than he's shifty. He could be doing drugs. So remove the stutter. Make him more likable, so when his betrayal does come, it's just kind of like it resonates a bit more than, well, he was kind of an asshole the first time. Because it also would have made his point about, oh, these arms dealers are playing both sides. Yeah. Like, could have been handled a lot better. No, Canto Bight on a whole could have been handled a lot better. And is by far, yes, the weakest part of the movie. But yeah, definitely get rid of the frickin' chase scene, or reduce it down to be on foot. And because it's weird, because everything else in the movie had that imminent sense of danger to it and time running out, and that, yeah. And like I said, it could have been handled a lot better. Is yeah, or actually having to steal a ship with him. That would have been cool, instead of just having that be off scene. Is run with him to the shuttle, have it get blown up, then it's like, oh shoot. And yeah, go steal the ship. Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah. One obstacle too many. Oh. But yeah, the freaking Holdo maneuver. Oh. But we really didn't get into it, but there's a group of fans that are upset because it basically, what it comes down to is it ruins a few of the extended universe things that you go into when you go into hyperspace, they were assuming you were going into an alternate dimension and going through, but like in the Holdo maneuver in the movies basically actually states, hey, no, you actually just go really fast, which, you know, I figured visually was always communicated because you always saw ships coming in and then just stopping, which is absolutely cool effect. And very iconic to Star Wars. But the thing is that, well, the thing, it's never been super clear, and even then, yeah, centaurs are extremely hard to draw. Because yeah, they're still, and the thing is yeah, people are upset about that, and it's just, it's still not a super clear explanation, but Star Wars isn't about explaining how everything works. If you want that, go watch some Star Trek. I know! Because it's like you realize what she's gonna do. Oh, and then a lot of people are like, well, why haven't we ever seen that before in Star Wars? Why don't people ram their ships into enemy ships all the time? But it didn't actually, so on the second time, it didn't disable every enemy ship. It only disabled the ships that were immediately behind on that one side of the capital ship that were in that area, and it only disabled them. It didn't even destroy them. It didn't even really destroy the capital ship. It just disabled it and whatnot and caused mass chaos. Because yeah, if you go back and watch it, you'll see where it hits, and there's like a triangle that goes over. All right, so it's not that they. All right, so see, and the problem with this explanation is it actually requires extended lore knowledge, which isn't entirely fair. But if we do want to take a real world example, especially what I think they're doing with this whole new series, is if the Galactic Civil War, the second Galactic Civil War, is the basically an allegory for World War I. And that the second series, it's kind of World War II, is the Third Reich is a shadow in comparison to the power of the German Empire. But because of the Blitzkrieg tactic, they were able to accomplish far more in a far shorter amount of time because no one was prepared for that. So the extended lore thing is, no, they aren't nearly as strong as the Empire, but they have been gathering power and producing a lot of weapons and hoarding them and prepping them. But the thing is the Republic never took them seriously and never stopped them. The New Republic, let's go with that. So basically the rest of the galaxy has nothing because the fleets were destroyed in that initial Starkiller base attack. So when that happens, yeah, it takes one Star Destroyer to hold a system. Yeah. But, I mean, and the problem is the answers do lie in the extended lore from The Force Awakens, as that was Leia's, because there's a whole thing with Leia talking about how back in the Rebellion, she had 1,000... Yeah, back in the Rebellion, she had 1,000 X-Wing pilots that she could just have because people understood that people hated the Empire and wanted to join. The First Order really didn't have power, so getting pilots for the Resistance, people weren't just willing to jump up because it's like, no, it's fine. Yeah, but Star Wars has never been about explaining all these in the movies. And apparently a lot of that was explained in deleted scenes in The Force Awakens. That was supposed to happen in the beginning where Leia gives an exposition dump, and that was cut. I'm just like, yeah, well, there is an exposition dump. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I don't see it that way. Just because I very much draw that it's sort of a retelling of the First and Second World Wars, and that a Blitzkrieg, because even then we could have actually seen a good chunk of the power of the First Order in that movie, but that's all it takes when no one else has a navy. When it was destroyed by Starkiller Base. But yeah, no, they didn't. No one ever mentioned, shoot, they destroyed the entire military force of the Republic. Just, oh, they destroyed the capital planet. That wasn't Coruscant, but people assumed was. But they didn't say otherwise. Except in the deleted scene. Well, I mean, probably at most, but the hierarchy of it probably down to, hey, captain of the ship, you're in charge of the Republic fleet. Cool, where are they? We don't know. Do we want to talk about this? Do we want to make ourselves a target? Could be that a lot of them are in the Outer Rim, or those were the allies Leia was waiting for. that never came. Oh. Makes me wonder how much of a time skip to the next one. But, I mean, Star Wars, historically, as a series, has never been one to bog itself down by the details and just does what it wants when it wants. Even in the original trilogy. What? Never established that the Emperor had lightning powers. What's the precedent for that?
Yeah. True.
Never even established the Emperor was Force.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Other than talk to Vader at one point in Empire. Yeah. I didn't even get to see him hobble around the old guy till the beginning of Empire.
I know. That's the thing with Star Wars, is it's, hey, this sounds cool, let's do it. And the whole extended universe lore keeping came in with the books. Yes. I'd say the only time Star Wars hasn't been fast and loose with the rules is with the prequels. And Star Wars has always been about spectacle. Always. The opening shot of A New Hope is spectacle. It's just we're capable of a lot bigger things at the moment. See, I disagree with that because I feel it's just as... No, I can't fix that for you or explain that away because that's you. And the thing is, it didn't bore me. Huh. You're allowed not to like it. Yeah. Actually, nope. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah. No, the only part of The Last Jedi that I would say was empty spectacle was the chase scene on Canto Bight. I would agree with that one. And I would agree that was a boring thing. Yeah. No, and like the thing is this, I feel you see the weaknesses of Force Awakens really stand out when you put it right next to The Last Jedi. And I hope J.J. Abrams has learned some things from that. Yeah. Hey, you never know. We'll even see they haven't. There's still. He still has to pitch his idea, so we don't even know if he's gonna get the job. I disagree on that. And no, I see your point. I definitely see your point. If Finn died, it might have been better. And I really thought that's what we were going to do, but I think the point of the movie was that when people die, you have heroes, but you don't have leaders. And that Finn surviving shows that no, that we shouldn't be fighting to die against. I mean, exactly what frickin' Rose said is we should be fighting to save the ones we love, not destroying the ones we hate. But it also is, yeah, you don't. And the thing is it probably wouldn't have worked.
No. Chewed up on it.
Yeah. Because the thing is, the whole thing was already melting. I think it did, because that was basically Poe's entire arc. The whole point of their side story is lives matter. Even if you die as a hero, those lives still matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, no, the Rose falling in love, yeah, that seemed forced. I would agree with that. But I mean, to be fair, it seems like everyone falls in love with Finn.
Yeah. Well, to me, it reads like a crush.
Yeah. Because Finn was definitely not that into it. If looking at his face, he was just like...
He's just like, what are you doing?
Just like, whoa. I'm still gonna save you, but whoa.
What the heck are you doing? You kind of passed out just then.
Yeah. 2 steps back. I love the ace pilot. Actually, a lot of people are mad that that scene possibly ruined their ship. I was just say whatever. Like, yeah, but I mean, what do you expect with Disney?
I mean, Finn was only bi, so like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but okay, kind of change subject. But this scene where Luke tells Rey to reach out for the Force, and she reaches out.
And he tickles her.
And he tickles her. Yes. 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 It's what I've also seen a lot of juxtaposition. Actually, not a lot. Just only a few people talking about it, which I think more people need to. Is it's interesting to put a Finn up against Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren had every opportunity, like his upbringing made it so every opportunity he should have been a good guy. Man, what did I miss? Oh, I know what I missed. And where Finn, being indoctrinated and brainwashed to be a child soldier, should have turned out to be a bad guy. But it's like, it doesn't matter how you were raised. Well, is it a nature versus nurture question, or is it a...
I think it's some... It's about choices.
Yes. And just... Yeah. I do firmly believe that Kylo Ren had Yes. I feel Kylo Ren had his chance, the best chance he was ever going to get to have a redemption. I was very much thinking he could never be redeemed, and I
would have accepted it at that point.
I would have accepted it if he turned around at that point.
But not anymore.
But yeah, not fool me once.
In one chance.
Yeah.
And that was the perfect chance.
Yeah, that was the chance. You had to pull the classic Sith apprentice maneuver. So predictable. Oh, but I can't wait for Hux to shoot him or abandon him or whatever, but it's totally
It's totally gonna be rough.
Yeah. Also, people are mad that Hux and Kylo Ren aren't in love. But it's like, didn't you watch The Force Awakens?
But they hate each other. Obviously, they're in love.
Yeah. Because even then, they made it quite clear that they hated each other. Oh, because that's going to be so great to watch these people all climbing for power and just backstabbing each other.
That's how the Empire
At every...
works.
Oh, the thing is, the Empire had a strong leader that everyone was scared of.
And when it doesn't, it goes all to
Yeah, everyone goes for power grab. Yes. It's just like, dude. But he was probably like, what would Vader do? And it's just...
Probably, like, the chance that Vader never got.
Yeah. But Rey's just like, no, I just wanted to know who my parents were. But I knew all along.
He wanted to figure out the place in the universe.
Yep. And she's like, yeah, no. Genocide is not one of them.
Yeah, I'm not really into that. All my other friends are.
Yeah. But as well, I've seen a thing where where he keeps looking for a father figure in Luke and Han and whatnot, and there's Chewie just there taking her to school every day, packing her a lunch, taking her to see a boy that he doesn't approve of, but he respects her choices.
Dropping her off at Jedi school.
Yeah. Always there to give a hug. It's just like, yep, Chewie is the best Star Wars character.
Good, because he should live forever.
Like 900 years. Which I'm kind of just a very small amount bit excited. I wouldn't say excited. hopeful. There we go. For the Han Solo origin movie, because you really could fit in like a lot of stuff in one movie on like Jabba the Hutt. Because you know they're gonna put it all in, but it's like you could. It'll probably result in the Kessel Run. Is what the movie's gonna be about in the end.
Yeah, what made the Millennium Falcon famous originally.
I'm trying to remember what those are. Oh, yes, yes. No, I've seen those. Yeah, those are really good. Cool thing is I don't have to go to bed right away. It happens. Actually, before I started streaming, I was drawing a thing and it was not good. So that's why I'm drawing this. Maybe later this weekend I'll try what I was going for again, but it's not looking good at all. But yeah, like, so, like, the prequels aren't great, but reading about some summaries on what happened in, like, the Thrawn trilogy and the Dark Empire and Jedi Academy trilogy of books that came out in the 90s, the freaking prequels are masterpieces. I thought I knew kind of what happened in those. No, what I knew was the best parts that were scraped off the top of those. Ugh. Just if you're tired of Death Stars and The Force Awakens, hate to ruin it for you, but Dark Empire, there's lots of Death Stars. Also, an X-Wing that is as powerful as a Death Star. Actually, I think that one's in Jedi Academy. Wrong layer. Do that every time. Yeah, no, this is when I stream, I kind of ramble. Keeps me concentrated, prevents me from start surfing the internet like I'm doing right now. I'm just refreshing everything real quick. Okay. Yeah. No, and there's plenty of people in the chat and all that. I can actually stay. Helps my concentration quite a bit. But as soon as I'm alone, I'm just like, internet, internet, internet. So I think if I just... Adam probably went to tuck his wife into bed. Or he's working on something that requires concentration. Both are acceptable. I think how this comes out. My line art imitated Rachel's style at line art. Because I had fun doing that the other night when drawing the mermaid tail on her character. Okay, and boop. Might actually. Not gonna stream drawing tomorrow, unless something crazy happens. But just got D&D tomorrow evening. So unless that gets delayed, which if that happens, Taylor's gonna... She'll be fine, but... Have they seen Star Wars yet?
Who?
Taylor and Luke?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Do you know what they thought of it? Just out of curiosity.
Didn't talk very much.
Okay. That's a good alternative.
Mostly we talked about the parts that really we didn't need to see.
Yeah. Yes, I do have a Switch. I need to play it more. But it's like, well, I could play video games, and then it's like, or I could draw. Like, I've been having the urge to play some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds lately. But I know that as soon as I do, I would regret it. Because I would just sit there panicking, like I do every time. Yeah, no, I freaking love Super Mario Odyssey, though. I need to play that more, definitely. It's way too big. That and Golf Story. I still need to finish Golf Story. I think I'm almost done, but that's an excellent little game. It's on the Switch. I haven't been going on any road trips. Yeah, Splatoon 2's alright. I mean, we played it for like the first week and then...
Looks like you like Splatoon.
Yeah. I mean, we really liked the first one. We played that one for a long time, but the second one is just kind of like, it's more Splatoon. Doesn't really add a ton, but I mean, for the people that really like Splatoon, it's good that they got it on the Switch.
Nice to get Smash Bros on the Switch, but we'll see. I mean, my biggest issue with Splatoon 2 is the matchmaking. Is not very friendly for a multiplayer online team-based shooter. In terms of the design, I'd have to elaborate because I'm having a hard time. Because I think it's very smartly designed. At least the regular mode, not competitive. No problem, no problem. I understand. I think the story kind of lacks because you're taking a multiplayer mechanic and shoving it into a single player thing, which is not bad, but it's arcadey. There's nothing wrong with arcadey stuff. Just not for everyone. Freaking, I worked at Nova Wake. Well, that was like one of Lou's biggest arguments. It's too arcadey. But simultaneously, he didn't want that, but he did. Yes, yeah, he didn't actually know what he wanted. He didn't understand what he wanted. He didn't understand. Alright, I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom again. I'm back. Get another drink. Hi, Dipper. He's upset because it's 10 and he hasn't been fed. You can wait. Pat, pat, pat. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, no. Completely agree. that you can only play certain modes at certain times. That is a bunch of BS. Because, hey, I'm an adult. I have a limited schedule. I can't plan my life around Splatoon. Especially for the co-op stuff. Yes, no. Actually, I don't want to call them Nintendoisms, because there are a lot of good Nintendoisms. But, yes, that's... Nintendo still hasn't fully grasped online. I'm like, I keep adding more scales to Pomegranate. I keep doing it. For no, she's just gonna be all scales. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but... Yes, no, I completely agree. That is... Like, and the thing is, it's okay to have events like the Splatfest where you have a weekend to go up and people do a thing, and I think that helps a lot, but making that for like almost every aspect of the game, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say decisive, but that's not the word.
Divisive?
Not divisive. It will hemorrhage your player base. Which divisive kind of fits. Hey, for all the issues with Destiny and Destiny 2. Exactly. Yeah. Is... One of the nice things, other than the raids for Destiny 2, is I mean, you have to have online connection, but the thing is everything, except for the events, but, you know, those are nice to get people on. Exactly. What? Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Yeah. Yeah, I actually... Negative space is meant for something. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But thank you. Another thing in this... I haven't gotten to it yet. Is... need to be mindful, since I do have cleavage in this picture, not to make sure that cleavage does not land on a third or a half line on it. Otherwise, people's eyes will be drawn straight to the cleavage and nothing else.
More than usual.
More than usual. So that's why she's down more. Yeah. Because due to the male gaze, if I don't actually think about that, I will put the cleavage in a look at this spot. And I have done it in the past on purpose. That's not the point of this picture. The Dratini is, if you notice, is on the bottom third. I could actually go a little lower. I'm also trying hard shading, which is difficult for me. We'll see if we keep it. Much prefer the soft. But you gotta challenge yourself. It's just you gotta practice and the thing is, I don't know if I'm even going to keep the cell shading. I'm possibly thinking, just because of the hard lines, doing that. And doing what I did last night, and make it look like... Just kind of going like, well, not like that, but kind of giving it a parchment look. That actually does look pretty good. Except for that should be desaturated. Way more desaturated. I mean, good luck to you. Having worked in the game industry, it's not bad, like, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's difficult, and it is... Wrong one, wrong one. What's that? And more power to you. I don't want to dissuade you at all. It's just... Oh, was I on that? Yeah, okay. I was just like, you just made it even harder for yourself. Indie also doesn't mean you're not working for someone else. Because there are a lot of indie devs that that work for someone. It really is just the scope. Is if you have a major... It really comes down if you have a publisher behind you. When I worked game development, I did not have a publisher. I just had a boss. Of course, my boss knew nothing about video games. I have more fingers on one hand than the amount of video games he's actually played. And I'm not kidding. Yeah, well, he wanted to... An old man that had money. Keyword is had. He really wanted to get into VR, not realizing how much money it actually does cost and what you need to get there. Also, how to lead a team, work with a team, all that. I worked in VR. I was a programmer, a game designer, a digital artist, graphic designer, web developer, web artist, team lead, marketing. What wasn't I? I didn't sign the checks.
Yeah.
3D modeler, texture artist, lighter, yeah. I did not do the music.
That's true.
That is true. That was Josh. He did a good job on that.
Little prick.
That's something.
Yeah, he has something. And I hope he's doing well.
It's over.
Yes. I mean, it's a lot of work. Exhausting, and not just dealing with my boss and whatnot. Game development, even just from the programming perspective, which if you're going into, you need to know at least the basics of programming. Because if you don't know that, even if you're not doing the programming, you need to be able to communicate with the programmers. Which I love coding. I absolutely love it. I miss it so much, but it's exhausting. It is very difficult to do. It requires a lot of effort. And for me, drawing takes a lot less effort, and it's a lot more cathartic, which is why I've gotten into it since I've left game dev. What was I saying? It's exhausting. There's not much money in it, unless you are a breakout indie dev, not artist, which is very rare and requires a lot of work, and experience and whatnot. It's not impossible. I mean, I've got ideas. Shoot, I want to freaking make Pomegranate story into a video game. I'd love to, but I understand it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of stuff, like I don't know how to do the music. Yeah. Shoot, what's it called? I want to get into coding. I think it's just Code. Code Academy, I think is it. Yes, codeacademy.com. I'll put a link. Yes, you can. I've never heard anything you've composed, but yes, you could compose or at least help me with that. But again, I mean that's only part of it. A lot of it would be on me for the programming, for the art. Actually, the art is a ton of work. Level design, it's a lot of work for. Yeah, exactly. But music, and that's one of the things that kind of with Nova Wake is. You can't start with the sugar. So a lot of your final art assets, a lot of the music, the lighting, all that is sugar to the main thing. It's what goes on top. That's what makes it sweet. You've got to do the hard work, the meaty stuff, the sour, well, not the sour, but the stuff that doesn't taste good, the vegetables. The meat, you've got to do that all first. Yeah, you have to make the cake. You have to do everything underneath. That's not as fun as consuming it or as tasty or.
You have to bake it.
Yep. And all that. They're delicious, but it takes a lot more to prepare and to do it right than just adding sugar on top. And the sugar's really fun. But it doesn't add a ton. It doesn't last long. Because if you don't have the base...
It only enhances what's already there.
Yeah. That's a term we used a lot, or teachers used a lot in school, when people spent too much time making it look good. And... And that's awesome. Like, I 100% do it. Like, go for it. I want you to succeed. It's just, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And the thing is I would love to make this game or a couple other ideas before I die, but at this point in my life, I'm more focused on saving up money to buy a house and get things, I don't want to say figured out, but in order before I focus on that. Yeah, exactly. And it's possible, like, something you might want to look into, depending on how complicated you want your game to be. RPG Maker can do some really cool stuff if you don't mind it being 32-bit in style. SNES, because that's what it excels at. But yeah, if it's going to be online at all, you need to learn programming and you need to go into network and network security for any sort of multiplayer. That's, yeah. It's maybe not RPG Maker, but you could make a good platformer with Unity or Unreal Engine. I do like the Unity engine. I do need to sit down and learn Unreal. I need to talk to Anna, see if there's any openings at Cyan. I need to learn Unreal Engine first, though. That would be cool to work there. Yeah, I don't normally do cell shading or hard shading very often, but that came out pretty decently. No, that makes perfect sense. I want to make the To the Moon version of Undertale. Not To the Moon, but actually it kind of is kind of in the vein, the style of To the Moon. That's a pretty much just an interactive, a visual novel that allows you to walk around. Pretty much. Thank you. I'm not sure I'm wanting to make people cry. I'm just saying I could. I don't know. I don't know if my writing's that good. And that's another thing is writing's hard. Art's hard. Programming's hard. Music's hard. But yeah. But no, more power to you for getting into game dev, because if you're really committed and want to do it, it's not something you just sit down and it happens. And it's super rewarding. Shoot, I mean, I have a game on Steam. One thing that did come out of Nova Wake. I literally got it up there 2 days before I quit, and then the company closed down 2 days after that. Yeah, well, I mean, even the pixelated style is a ton of art, and you have to be very, to make it look good. Like, pixel art is very difficult. You can get away with more stuff with like animation and whatnot with that. You can have significantly less frames and people will fill it in, and that's a huge advantage. But it still requires having the eye and practice of being able to work at that low resolution and have what you're working on come out clear and people understand what it is. Especially for someone like me that works at very high resolution. And you can't just take this picture and shrink it down because it'll just be a bunch of pixels and you won't know what it is. So it's a knack, and I have to practice that a lot more. Yeah. It's just, I've tried to get into it, and I've looked up some tools that are supposed to help, but oh, they're so unintuitive, and it just, it makes me want to sit down and program my own tool for making pixel art. My own program, I should say. Because I feel like I could make a better one than what's out there, but yeah, but MS Paint does not really work that well with a tablet.
Right with the mouse.
So, but I mean, that's what it is. No, I just need to figure out. That's one of the reasons I've been working on animation, is kind of make something in my style. Which I'm still figuring out what my style is, but so maybe not so much pixely, but I mean, and I don't want it to look like it's Flash animation either, because that has its own distinct look that I don't quite want. Tag that? No. Nope. Yeah, whatever. So I'm still figuring stuff out on that. Why is that not showing up? Yeah, that really. Yeah, no, because the heads and tails, I've got, like, I could make that into a game. Like, I have the concept of how to do it into a just an interactive story, pretty much. But oh no, it's because I know a few people. I don't know. I follow a few people that do pixel art in Paint, and it'll do. You set your resolution and you just sit there with your mouse and you click the pixels you want. I'm not good at that. Exactly, and that's my problem as well, is I have ideas, but I haven't sat down and done it. Because at the end of the day, I don't really want to. I'm never in the mood. I don't like, do it. I got that. I've got an idea of
my version of if I were to make a Pokemon game of what I would do. I think that one's really cool. And I have the combat system partly programmed. I need to finish it. I need to get it off my work laptop, my old work laptop, before I turn that in to get wiped. Oh boy. Oh, I'm doing that tomorrow. But yeah, I got that. Got my villain simulator that I need to sit down and do. Like that is a good idea. That's probably the best game idea I have, but like I'm not super excited about it at the moment, so like think Five Nights at Freddy's, but instead of being a horror game, you play like a James Bond supervillain that sits at their consoles and tries to stop the hero or the group of heroes from getting to you. Because the thing is, I like the core concept of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I can't do those. I can't play. I know I can't play those games because that is just too much stress. Like I have a super hard time just even thinking about playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and that's not even meant to be a horror game. But like a similar concept to that, but the goal is to delay them as long as possible and then escape at the last point that you can, and then you get a ton of money. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear. Sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, get away with as much money you can and use that money to upgrade your next base for your next evil plan, and you slowly work your way to world domination, and like that's yeah, that would just, it's a great idea, but I'm not enthusiastic enough to actually sit down and really, the part that I get to is I don't want to program the AI, because that's the hardest part. Like, props to Scott Cowell, I think is his name. He's got something, because he knows how to create good game. Coffin, thank you. No, and I think it would be really good, but hey, don't do that. Sorry, cat. But again, it's I'm not. I'm not enthusiastic about making it right now, so do I want to do it? I mean, so should I go with the parchment, or should I go with my excuse me, multiply? With that, or should I go with more blue? So we got blue there, and if I
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's right. I'm actually a lot more motivated about my Pokemon idea. Because I super love Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I haven't finished Ultra Sun yet to give a final thought on that. But I do like, it's a new direction for Pokemon, and I'm excited for that new direction. But I would want to try to catch the original, like Pokemon Red and Silver feeling of the games that I feel has been lost since Gen 3 and onwards. And that kind of goes with losing Satoshi Hiramoto? I can't remember his last name. I think that's right. But thank you, Tagiri. I was way off. Wow. Thank you again. I knew it was Satoshi. But because he was done after Gold and Silver. Yeah, I was thinking of Iwata. Oh man, that guy will be missed. That's not what I wanted to do. Blur. Yeah, great guy. Absolutely, like, vital to Nintendo's success and Pokemon. Because without him, the whole second half of Gold and Silver, where you go back to Kanto, he literally developed the compression algorithm they used for the game in order, like, and the thing is, he wasn't even part of Game Freak at the time. He was in a head position at Nintendo, and on his spare time he went and programmed a new compression algorithm so they could fit all that in the game. He did that. He was always helping out with a bunch of projects to help him get finished and have that extra polish and whatnot, and it's just, you don't see that really anywhere. And it was all behind the scenes. He wasn't like David Cage is a completely different beast. That is a good way to describe my boss, is David Cage without knowledge of video games. I mean, and some people would talk about how David Cage doesn't really know what a video game is, but that's a different argument entirely. Yeah, Heart Gold and Soul Silver Gray. I still prefer the original, but that's probably mostly nostalgia speaking. But call that good. What was I saying? Yeah. Because I feel that it kind of... Because what I feel from Red and Blue and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there was a lot less focus on like an actual narrative, in terms of you talk to this person, they give you exposition about what's going on, you go do the next thing. It focused a lot more of, you just keep going forward and exploring and getting these badges. Why do you get these badges? Oh, because it allows me to get better Pokemon. And I mean, that had a lot to do with, because both Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, like, they pushed the Game Boy to its absolute limit on memory of the cartridge, on graphics and everything, for all that. Like,
pushed it to the absolute limit, and it's and that's why you get like the missing number is a glitch, and how that glitch can exist. But the way they handled, because that's a memory exception, but the way they were able to handle memory exceptions allowed the game to, I mean, when you caught missing go, it borked your game, but the game still ran even though its memory was corrupted. And to be able to handle that is a masterwork of programming and exception handling that you do not see, you don't see anymore, really. Because we don't need to do that. Yes, yeah. Agreed. And the thing is, I really love Pokemon Sun and Moon, or Sun's the one I played. I really love Sun, but for different reasons. I love the story that's told and how it's a celebration of Pokemon, even though it is different. But yeah. But I'd want to go to something where there isn't like an overarching story and a plot to save the world or universe or region and whatnot. It's, you're a kid that it's a coming of age story. You go out and you grow, you collect a team, and you become the best. So yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. A lot of that actually comes down to with me coming to terms with the Halo franchise, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Yeah. But it's definitely a new direction for Pokemon, because it was by far very, very heavily story-based. Heavier than any Pokemon before, but you can see, but from Gen 3, so Ruby and Sapphire onward, that's kind of where they've been heading. But this one finally got that, we're going to focus on the story now a lot better than the rest of them. And it's still not perfect in terms of story-heavy RPGs, because the beginning slogs so much, but the end is so, yeah, so good. I think that's also an issue with JRPGs as a whole. Yeah. And I completely, I understand that the beginning is a slog and it sucks. And that's one of the nice things about Ultra Sun and Moon is they abridged the beginning so you can run through that a lot faster without really missing that much. And even adding more stuff. So. But as I was saying earlier, is coming to terms with like how I view new things, the Halo franchise, because since basically since ODST, Halo's gone in a direction that I particularly don't care for, and it took a while because I really didn't like Halo 4, and I have issues with ODST, but those are less lore issues and more gameplay issues and feeling that it was a very rushed game. But yes, agreed on the Ultra Sun and Moon thing, is they really boom, push things for you. A lot less Cookie visiting your mom every morning. So that makes me excited for the next Pokemon game, because they'll have learned a lot from Sun and Moon, and hopefully find a good balance of exposition and actual gameplay, but still having a story they want to tell about Pokemon.
Yeah. No, Halo, and like having to come to terms with Halo 4 going in a very different direction than what I feel could be true to actual Halo, but it's just I'm not making it. I'm not in charge of it. I would do it different, but that doesn't mean what they're doing now is bad, just because it's not what I would want to see done. And it's good that it exists. And I can appreciate it for what it is doing. And comparatively, everything else is doing what they're doing different with old properties is a lot better than what Microsoft is doing with Halo. Yes, Pokemon on the Switch. I am so excited. My biggest disappointment with Ultra Sun and Moon is that it's not on the Switch. I need to play that more. Well, I would say maybe this weekend, but I need to do Finding Paradise before I jump back into Pokemon. I am in a much better headspace at the end of this week than I was last week. Okay, so yeah, I got to the first totem battle. The lag is still pretty bad on Ultra Sun and Moon. Double battles aren't as bad, but the totem battles where you could have three Pokemon on one side and then just one on your... Yeah, the first totem battle was really bad in terms of frame rate. To the point where... I'll be right back. So bad to the point that I have actually broken down, traded in for a new 2DS, the Pokeball one, because you can press the button, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, now it runs great. No lag at all. Unlike any double battles in the next totem battle I did. So yeah, no, it's like I had a bigger screen, higher resolution. It's nice, and it's Pokemon. And it's as soon as they announced it, I was just like, So yeah, I traded my other one in and got this one. Yay, Christmas bonus. Yeah. No, definitely on the older 3DSs, it lags pretty bad on the double battles and the and the totem battle, like really bad. That is my biggest complaint about Sun and Moon. I'm just like, do I post this tonight or do I wait till tomorrow to post it? I sort of posted something. Yeah. But otherwise, like, Mantine Surf's pretty fun. That's, I feel like, an improvement of actually being able to ride a Pokemon between, like, surf, quote unquote, surf between islands. It gives, that's one of the things that I kind of didn't like about Sun and Moon, and kind of where it was branching away from the original Pokemon series, because the original Pokemon series, you could, everywhere you could go, pretty much, you traveled there yourself. And Sun and Moon is the first one where you just got on a boat and went to a different island, and that always seemed like a missed opportunity and kind of disappointing. And with Mantine Surf, that's actually nice. Even though it's not actually exploring and it's more of a mini game, it it kind of gives that sort of connective tissue between the islands that wasn't there before. So doesn't completely fix the problem, but that's just the way they're taking the series, and that's how it is. And I like what they're doing that's new, and that doesn't bother me changing up what's different. Yes, that little illusion. Oh, that was something I couldn't get across to my boss at Nova Wake, is that it wasn't real, that everything's a magic trick, that you couldn't create something that knew every possible outcome, is you had to trick people into choosing your outcome or whatever set outcomes you had, or you just had to force their hand to choose one of those outcomes because there's not enough manpower in the world to come up with every single... Oy. Yeah, that's why I'm burnt out on game dev. One of the reasons is dealing with that man. Wonder, I actually might want that. There. No, I like it. Huh? Do that. No, I like it. Yeah, he tried to get me back and said that he was going to try once he got more money, and that doesn't seem to have panned out. And another person I keep in contact from in there has a restraining order against him, and oh, he's the worst kind of human being. And not that he's like evil. No, he might be a little evil, but yeah. He didn't leave her alone after she left, and yeah. But he's an incompetent nincompoop. Yeah. No, and I don't blame her. Freaking man that's 3 times my age, and I had to tell him how to frickin' behave when she quit. Yeah, I left 2 weeks after that. That was the day after she quit. I put in my, well, it was my 3 weeks notice, but I was taking a vacation one of those weeks. A vacation to go work at a different job because I needed money. Yeah. She's working at, I don't know if you ever heard of the game studio that made Myst, or the game that came out last year called Abduction, which, oh, was that last year? No, that was 2 years ago, I think, no. 2 years ago. 2016. So last year, so. She's working for them now, which is really cool. I'd love to work there, but they're not hiring, and I don't have experience with the game engine they use. And she's just helping stuff out with marketing and whatnot, so she's not really doing what she wants to, but it's a foot in the door, and that's cool. Abduction, puzzle game, first-person puzzle game, like, pretty dang good for that genre. Top quality for that genre, except for the second to last puzzle. The second to last puzzle.
Dipper.
Hey! Could have been done a lot better. A lot better. Because the thing is it takes a little bit to figure out the solution. And the thing is once you figure out a solution, it shouldn't take you that long to solve the puzzle. The problem with that second to last puzzle is it took longer to solve the puzzle than it did to come up with the solution. So there's a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, loading screen, loading screen, loading screen, loading screen, loading screen to get through that puzzle. So outside of that puzzle, that game would have just been perfect for its genre. Sorry. No, I've got a lot of insight, but I mean, my insight is from my perspective, and other people have different perspectives on game design and how it should be and whatnot. So it's what it is. I mean, I love video games. I love dissecting them, and the ones that I can dissect and still enjoy are awesome. Some of them I don't need to dissect. Some are fun to dissect, others are not. But yeah. But I'm also very forgiving in a lot of my criticisms of stuff. Oh yeah. No, and I've learned, I mean, I learned a lot. One, from working at Nova Wake. Two, from the people I worked with at Nova Wake, because they brought perspectives that I didn't see. And I follow a lot of game developers. I follow a lot of game journalists. I follow a lot of editors for games journalists. What the heck is that from? Sorry. Okay, I won't believe their lies. I'll be coming to bed soon. But yeah. But I mean, you're talking to someone that is simultaneously jaded and excited about video games. I'm in a weird spot. And I'm currently not working in the game industry. I'm working in a completely different industry. And I get to view games from a kind of an outside perspective at the moment. And we gotta find something to break through that jade exterior. Get to the soft, chewy center. D&D, really. It's what breaks your jaded exterior. Oh, that's straight up porn on Twitter. Oh. Yes, but it... but the thing is you're excited about it. You're not cynical about D&D. Even if it is to jade the rest of us, you're not doing it through your jaded cynicism, you're doing it through your abundant enthusiasm. Not yet. But I think that would require us to to make you jaded on that. That would require us to start, I wouldn't say usurping your plans, but to not appreciate the effort you put in, because the effort is really appreciated. Is Rachel taking a shower? Yeah, she's taking a shower. Exactly. Trying to ruin it just to ruin it. And the thing is, we're excited, that makes you excited, and it's like this cyclical thing. So even though you tried to jade us, I don't think you're really going to jade us, because we're excited to what that leads to. And you're still willing, you're not going to force us down, like you're going to lead breadcrumbs for us to follow to go down a path, but you're not going to be like, nope, you can't do anything else and whatnot. So that, it makes it fun for both ends. Oh, that person deleted the porn. Probably posted it under the wrong account. Well, the thing is, I've noticed, especially with this year, I've been significantly less hype about stuff, and I get more excited after I experience it than I do the lead up to it. So, I don't know. Because I definitely wasn't super excited about Star Wars going to it, and now that I've seen it, I absolutely love it. Kind of with Destiny 2, because I was very and even though there's a lot of things that are not good about it, and I do not like about it, what it was able to do, I really appreciate with like the story. So yeah. Like, I understand that. But I feel that's kind of a depressing way to go about stuff, because I can't feel anything about this thing. It's like a pessimist approach to life, is be expected to be disappointed with everything and then be surprised when it's actually good instead of being let down. And I feel that's I've been thinking about that a lot, is I feel that it's kind of unhealthy to go through life expecting everything to be bad and then have to be surprised that parts are good. I don't know, and that's just a personal philosophy. Because, I mean, it really does suck to be let down by stuff, and it hurts, and it's something you'd rather not go through. But yeah, and that could be I'm an optimistic person, and I know that. Put the A-Wing right there. And that could just be me, and because I mean, shoot, even after being jaded with the game industry, I still love games. I still love video games. I still get excited about stuff. I'm not as excited about VR as I was, but I can still be excited by it and its potential. Like, what was I gonna say? Skyrim VR, that came out this year, and like, I want to play it because it's Skyrim in VR, and it would be cool to have that full the most immersive experience that you could have with Skyrim. But I know the movement system in that game is gonna make me sick, and it's gonna make 90% of all the people who play it sick, and the only people that it's not gonna make sick are the developers and a certain, like, 3% of the population that doesn't get motion sick. Because the developers have just exposed themselves to it and built up an immunity. But it's still exciting that could be something in the future to look forward to. The Doom VR actually looks better because they've actually developed a completely new game, but a new story, a new campaign, a new whole thing to include the mechanics. Hey, look, we've got a fourth person in the stream, and I'm probably going to end soon. But yeah, no problem. I hate to be the pessimist, but you're probably going to get motion sick from it. You've got to choose your games carefully, and you got to slowly work your way up. There's no way around it. Good thing to do, keep with short games, like 10 minutes, and then take breaks. Because when you're not used to it, it will become overwhelming, and you will get motion sick. Unless you are one of the very, very few people, but do not count on it. What else? Yeah, keep with short games. Be very careful. Read reviews on the movement systems, and even then, there's still a chance that something that doesn't affect a lot of people will affect you. If you can do games in which you are still and you're just looking around and kind of interact with stuff around you, that's the best. And that's true. The Vive is the best for preventing motion sickness because you have more room to move, but the Oculus is good if the developer plans around it. And it really comes down to the developer, and a lot of them have just sunk themselves so much in VR, they're not as affected as by the regular person, so they develop movement systems, which in my opinion have reduced the impact of VR games along with the price point, but that's what it is. And the price point is a huge thing. It is great. The biggest problem with the HTC Vive is the cord, because it is a tripping hazard. Also, the controllers are more fragile than you think, and always with the HTC Vive, wear the wrist straps. Always, because I nearly broke a dev kit because I wasn't wearing the wrist straps. Because when you have it on and there's a table next to you and you're like, I'm going to take this off, I need to set these down, you go to set them down on the table that doesn't actually exist. So, yeah, I literally went down and I went to let go and I was like, wait, no. And so, yeah, after that, I made up signs and slapped them on the doors. You do not touch this VR. You do not hold these controllers without putting the straps on first. Oh, sorry. That was. I need to upload this. But yeah, safe VRing. I would say don't do it alone because you could knock yourself out. Yeah, you just got it. And the thing is, like, cool things have been done with it, and absolutely, thing is, and I helped develop a movement system that, for 95% of the people that used it, completely removed motion sickness. Lou was going to try to patent it, and there's no way you can. I mean, it's a waste of money to patent software, because people can do the same thing and just be like, well, I coded it differently. And then it's like, well, yeah, they used a slightly different algorithm and they accomplished the same thing, possibly even better. But yeah, it's... I can't actually... I still am under an NDA to actually talk about this movement system in too detail, but prevents motion sickness and how it treats acceleration in... not in terms of how fast your speed is, but how you're turning. And actually, to be fair, Lou came up with the base idea. My boss, he had the original part of that idea. Let me rephrase it. He gave me the inspiration for the actual solution. Is the actual thing. And then I had an idea and tried a few things and figured out, and yeah. And then I wrote up the whole thing, explaining how it was done for the patent, and then he read it and reviewed it so he could send it in. I spent a week writing up this documentation for a patent, and I'd never done that before. It break down images of how this whole thing worked to get this whole process down, everything down to snippets of code and the base algorithm, and I knew it was a waste of time, but he really wanted me to do it, so I did it. And the reason, because I walked out a day before my 2 weeks notice was up, because he was trying to explain to another developer there how it worked, and he didn't know. And I told him, no, it works this way. Corrected him. And he's like, no, it doesn't. And I'm just like, oh. I've explained, I don't know how many times I explained it to him. And then he had, and I walked him through my whole explanation, through with pictures on the whole write-up I did for the patent. And he still didn't understand. And he still thought it was the original idea. Well, the thing is he wasn't in... The worst part is, it wasn't intentional. It's not like he was intentionally trying to be a dumbass. It's that he had the best intentions, so it makes it hard to be like really mad, but he's an idiot. It's not that he's an idiot. He never listened. That's what it comes down to. The only time he listened was when I walked out. And then everyone realized, oh shoot, Daniel's the guy that did everything short of composing the music. We can't continue, and then they shut the whole place down. So yeah. Oh. And so now I work in electricity. Alright, it's posted to Twitter. And do I post it to Instagram or do I wait till... it doesn't matter whenever I post it. There's no thing. Okay, I'm going to end the stream here. I'm tired. I need to brush my teeth and get ready for bed. It's past 11 here. Like, I don't have to work tomorrow, but that's the wrong thing to open up. But I am working tomorrow. So, you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you've got to work tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. I might stream on Instagram tomorrow while I'm working on tail making. We'll see how it goes. So, and I'll also see you tomorrow, Adam, evening, and we're still bringing cookies. Yeah, good night.